Anyone has any bags? Giving flowers? Sorry? Any bags? Could you,
Sahaja. side will be better because better this way.
Do you like a drink? Do you like some Coca-Cola?
Diet food.
Diet Coke. London.
So we are with the nature here. So beautiful. The way it is planned, you can see how the person who's planned it had the feel of the land, feel of the nature. How he is made up by not destroying it. Whatever is there, he used it. Otherwise, they could have put one bulldozer and finished it off. The way it is planned shows he had feeling for the land and he could understand. The way we look at nature also is our own. The way we are inside, that's how we look at nature. Nature is our friend, absolutely. It's working for us all the time. But we don't do much for it. Look at these trees. They give shade. They give fruits. Whatever is possible for them, they do it. And when they are old, use them for wood. All supportive to our life. But we must have feeling, otherwise what's happening today is a psychological problem. And this is because we do not have any feeling for the other nature. No feeling for the nature. We are really plundering them. And then the whole thing reacts. It's a kind of an aggression that you want to have so many things at the same time. Like I've seen once when we went to England. We never served any drinks in our house in India, but in England nobody would come to our house. So we had to organize. I told CP that he would better do something. So he went and got some books how to organize. So first the question of tumblers. I had so many types of tumblers. In those days, this was up to 1970 or 74. The first lot we had to get cost us 9,000 pounds. But we had to get about 24, but the best crystal. Because for everything there's a different type of crystal that I just thought that if you had some silver, it would be much better. One glass of silver is sufficient, once for all, your lifetime, your children's lifetime. Instead of that, all these things like crystal. But at least it was crystal, it was alright because it was in a way some sort of an art. And then I learned how they make, even in England, itching and all that, beautiful in Scotland. English crystal also is nice. The best is Czechoslovakia. All these things I learned there with that horrible sense of tumbler. And you had to have the best quality. That's something part of the prestige. So somebody will come and just see the glass.
Under the plate.
Slowly, you see. And the plates also they will come just on that. First I didn't know what was happening. So that's not done in India. I mean, nobody's bothered. See. Only if there's art they will appreciate finished. We don't have Sabine Rose and all that in India, so it's, and that's what I felt, that so many tumblers are needed for one house. So you're spending so much money to buy all these varieties. But the worst is in America. Now they are suffering from it. Even in plastic there are varieties. So you go to somebody's house, they so even in plastic they would say there are plastic tumblers which are just usable once. So they use one that's thrown up. Even in their drawing room, in a say restaurant or anything, even in their own drawing room, they have dustbins. Can you imagine? And then they will use a lot of paper, plastic things. They never have proper plates. They may be very rich, but they are always on the picnic, you see, eating in the paper plates using plastic things. But they are so proud of it. You see, this is a new one that has come now in the plastic. See, it's nice. Right. What is so great about this is, after all, plastic. It's new. See, new. New is the idea. Then everything has to be different every year. So the husband means what? Must be for the lunch. Now they go on discarding this plastic that they use and dresses also. This is the fashion in Paris, so that's the press comes. Then the entrepreneurs have really made us slaves out of it. Now, if you are dressed differently, they say, oh, you are out of fashion, out of date. So one lady came to see me. She had pants cut here, jeans cut here, there, everywhere. I was just worried that if she sits down me, give way. Weight was cut. And a funny type of a shirt with all cuttings everywhere. All the threads coming out. So I said, why are you dressed up like this? I'm up to date. So I asked her, what about me? You are antique. I said, antique is more precious than antique. So in India we say that these people have got now the desire to be beggars. Everything beggarish. The houses are beggarish. Dresses are beggarish. The hair are beggarish. To add up to it, drugs have come. So it's all absolutely, you feel you are in some sort of fish market, smelling the way people live. I mean, they are no way better than our Islamic things. The way they live, the way they eat, the way they live. They have money, not that they don't have money.
Well, they probably pay lots of money for the clothes with the cuts in.
Huh?
They
And they
probably,
pay more for them. Yeah, they pay more. But you go to any house, you see, England is worse this way. And when I was searching for a house, we had to go from place to places. And quite big houses were looking out. Suddenly you find two legs of pants falling on you from somewhere, and then some shirts coming on your faces. I said, what's this? Oh, these are old clothes we have, you see. Since long. No, no, this was last year's. Why are you keeping them? What to do? Uh, Better throw them away, it's no good. Give it away to someone. No, we are keeping them, maybe the fashion might come. Piles and piles and piles. You get into a room and suddenly you are on a pile of dirty clothes. So untidy, so horribly lousy. This is advancement. This is what we have progressed. So this funny greed of having more and more and more and more. I mean, you can have, but have something artistic. So you won't have too many. You'll have few. If you try to have artistic things, then you'll have some few things. But if you want to buy plastic, there's no end to it. The clothes are all artificial these days, and in that the fashions are changing. So we should not be slave of these entrepreneurs who are just befooling us all the time. In the market, something comes up funny, transparent clothes, you see, made of plastic. Something absurd, sometimes the clothes are very absurd. Like they had very tight jeans once upon a time. And they tighten it they said that you wear it and get into the tub. When you come out, they just stick to your body. And then you bathe with it all the time. I don't know if they bathe also. That's another point. Now, it's such a funny thing that with this, the ladies couldn't get into the buses, they were to be pushed in.
Lift their legs.
But the worst was that they developed varicose veins. So they would come to me. I said, why did you wear? So that was the fashion. Then they started with the baggy ones, with the holes, holy pants. Like that, you see, moving from one to another, having too many things of no value. So the surgeon should understand that we are friends of the nature. And whatever nature gives us, we have to respect it. Better wear natural clothes as far as possible. One natural shirt is better than three unnatural ones. Because you can breathe better, the skin feels better, you can wash it better. So best is to take to more natural things. I think this trend is coming up. And that's a very good trend that we should take to natural things. And when we take to natural things, there's one thing, we cannot have too many of it. But if you start using something plastic, then there can be any number, and that's how you really torture the mother. First of all, you dig her out. Then you wear all these things. And they cannot be destroyed. There are mountains and mountains. Mountains and mountains of this plastic if you go in America. Even in England I have seen mountains, such a filthy sight. They can't burn it. If you put it in the sea, it floats. And whenever you go near all these so-called very big cities, if you see the sea from the aeroplane you find all littered up. So we are spoiling our beaches, we are spoiling our homes and wasting our money. So these entrepreneurs have no feelings for the nature. They never think what nature is like. When I wanted to build this Pratishthan, the 5-6 architects from India, that's Sahaja is also very well qualified, but in the Western manner. So the design they made was some sort of a colonial style house with a platform all along, because the land was like this, you see. So they took the 0 point as the highest. So you hang on a platform for which you have to pay enormous amount. I said, all the way we have not come to this place to hang in the air. They couldn't understand what I was talking to them. I said, I want to stick to the ground. Or build the house on the ground. They said, you have to make topography, you have to make this graphy, that graph. It's very simple. What is this graphics you are making? Just get to it. Luckily, they had gone, all of them, on leave for about 15 days. I changed the whole lot. And we would be hanging 22 feet higher. So I put one hall underneath that. And when you move in down, you never feel that you are going down that way. And it's the personality of the nature which is expressed in that house. It's very interesting. You have seen Pratishthan? Did you feel that you are going too much down? Nobody feels that way.
No, you don't actually feel you're going down at all.
Huh?
You don't feel as though you're going down at all.
But it is. But after 15 days they returned. All blue. What? How? It's going to happen. Nothing going to happen. Take it from me. I've used it the best way one has to use, and nothing is going to happen to your building. And they were after the builder. The builder said, Sri Mataji pays me, so I'm not bothered. And it all worked out so well, so well. So this is what it is it's also labor saving, you see. If you ask somebody, why do you wear plastic? They say you don't have to press it. But what's the harm in pressing? There's one cloth, if you have to press, it's all right, it's a good idea. Or don't press. Don't want to press, don't press. You look quite weak, don't matter. But what is the need, I don't understand. You have so many plastics. So Sahaja should avoid plastic things as far as possible. Especially for children, one should be careful not to make them wear plastic. All of them are here.
There's a gathering of the clans.
Huh?
They must be going to have, either they're having a birthday party or they must be doing a training exercise.
Or celebrating some rescue work.
Yes.
Why, look at that black that came out.
What about plastic toys for children? Is that a bad
Plastic toys
for children.
Not good.
Not very good for them. Also, these plastic napkins you use for children are not necessary.
Yeah.
Then you see you become unattentive to children also. I mean, toys they play for a while, but still sometimes they put it in the mouth. You see, children are more fond of things made out of cloth or made out of wood. They like it. They like the feel of it. We put 5 plastic things and one thing made out of wood or made out of cloth. They'll pick up the cloth. They like the feel of the smoothness of it. They're very expensive here, I agree. But in India, they're very cheap. This time in Madras, I don't know if you picked up something or not. Lots of things were there for sale for children. See, they wouldn't stop my car anywhere. I was on the run. Otherwise, I would have bought. The wooden toys for girls are very good in India. Beautiful. Also for boys. But plastic toys which are covered with cloth are all right. Not so little. That's not too much. Plastic is something that penetrates into everything. Into everything. We also give too many toys to our children. In our days, a girl would have only 1 doll or 2 dolls now. But now the plastic toys, the whole room is filled with it. I mean, you have to just wait to find out your child. All this, so many toys. Perhaps maybe we avoid having relationship with our children. We don't talk to them. We have no time. So give them some toys. Stop them there. Sort of a diversion. And that's how we don't know our children at all. Too many toys. And the toys also now are coming out in such a way that's another slavery. Because on the television they'll advertise it. Your children will be after you, I want that toy. There was a bear, they took it out, which had a birth date. And so they would celebrate the birthday. And all the bears were invited for them. It's so funny, isn't it? That children should be given such ideas. Because there's no rapport. If the parents have a rapport with children, children won't need so much. We must read some proper stories to be told to children, talk to them. If you keep company with them, I don't think they'll ask for toys. They would not. They'll be very satisfied because most of them are realizers. So talk to them in such a manner that they develop their spirituality rather than all this materialistic thing. I found that we don't spend much time with our children. That's why they're like this. We had such a problem, I was telling you about these wild children we had in our school. The teachers were mad. They didn't know what to do. They said, within 1 month's time we will give up. They said, we can't do this. The relationship between the child and parents should be very sensible and not respectful. Because I've seen that children go on asking questions. Why? Why? See, it's kind of an aggressive nature, that's all. They don't want to know anything. Just go on asking questions. At that time, you have to tell them, you are not to know this. There's no need for it. You have to shut them. The quieter child is much better, who observes, who learns. But the one who is aggressive becomes later on a very wild personality. So to see that your child is not aggressive, they are exhausting. These children are absolutely exhausting. This time I went to Rome and I bought some sweets for them, some chocolates. So when I sat down, I said, now this is for children. Lollipops and chocolates. So they all rushed out to him, pushing their hands like this. I said, this is not to be done. You are not beggars. Are you beggars? Then they sat back. You are not beggars. But say in India, you try this. No child will push forward. If you try to give, feel shy. You look at the mother, she take it away. But this comes only because of the rapport we have with children. Now, how do we have rapport with them? So now you take them to the nature here. Now see them, how they behave, what is their style, what is their treatment. Instead of making them run about like mad, or taking out some flowers, or doing some sort of an aggressive act, just make them sit down. Tell them, now what is this flower? Do you know the name of this flower? Or this one, do you know what is that flower? I mean, many parents don't know themselves. They can explain. Then what is this tree? Look at the nature. Put the attention of the children onto something which will make them more contented and more deep. Instead of that, as soon as they see the space, they just start running. You don't know what to do with it. It is because you have not taught them how to be concentrated on something very interesting. Now see, I'm sitting here, I'm seeing, watching these stones. Even this will be in my head. See what a beautiful fiber, just see this. This is nature. And if once children start appreciating it, their attention will be more on this than on something nonsensical. So, a rapport has to be established, an understanding of the children, an appreciation. When they do something good, you must appreciate. And when they are doing something, mostly they do wrong things just to attract your attention. If you don't pay any attention to that and just distract their attention to something else, it's very easy. For example, now if you are going to somebody's house, and children are going, before going we tell them, see now, you have to behave very properly. Otherwise they'll think that your parents are no good. Now you go there, you should not in no way try to misbehave. You shouldn't ask for anything, just keep quiet. So first of all, you tell them how to behave. Now when they go there and they behave properly, when you come back, you have to tell them that this is tremendous. You have been so good, you behaved so well. It's really very good. I'm so proud of you. So next time you will do it. Then you have to tell them about their dignity, about what they are, and also the dignity of the nature. See how dignified the tree is, how it is standing there or giving a shade. So they develop that feeling. If you do not have feeling for the nature, you cannot stop the psychological matter. That's important, very important. Luckily, with Sahaja, Hamid has done some research and he has worked on the trees near Austria. There's a very beautiful mountainous area, much higher than this, between Germany and Austria. There used to be some sort of wasps, they were really fatal. Now they have all disappeared, and the trees are crumbling down with this acid rain and getting completely destroyed. So the government asked him to do some experimental work. So he took my vibrated water in a butter and he mixed it with other water, put it everywhere. So he said all the trees above 60 years of age didn't react much. But below that, they all reacted, and they started looking healthier. But he said still the speed was not. So there were lots of these badges from America left over. So he went and pushed them to the green tree. And he said, I went there after 6 months and the whole thing was changed. Vibrated and it's all green, so beautiful. So I think my picture must be giving balance or something. This acid rain, or it nourishes. Yes. The vibrations after all. Vibrations do nourish everything. And I don't know what happened to the acid rain. It's very different. We can try that everywhere. Vibrated water and these badges. Even the rings have done great work. He had a problem because they don't have bell as we have in India. They only have those stamps. So he removed the joining ring and put his ring inside that, and then he joined it. With that ring only, it worked wonders. Can you imagine?
The water is passing through.
Yeah, just imagine. Maybe the ring was emitting what is our status, what is our position. We are something very different from others. We have so much capacity. So we must understand what we can do to radiate conditions around us, our children, everything. Because now you have that vital force which you can use. But many Sahaja yogis are such, they do not understand that Sahaja yoga is not for only for your personal cleanliness or for your personal ascent, but for the ascent of the whole universe, of the whole people. Anywhere there's a Sahaja yogi, you can make it. Once I was going in a village, and I saw a beautiful, very beautiful field of corn. Such beautiful corn, just thick seeds in it. She said, whose? I asked the surgeon, I said, whose field is this? He said, this is mine. What did you do? I just got one coconut vibrated by you and put it in my way. All these miracles are happening. Something, when I was building Pratishthan, you see, we didn't have water or well there. So the neighbor said, my well is lying here, you can use it. But it only can work for a few days. We'll have to arrange for water to build that house. I said, all right. So the first thing Sahaja yogis did was to put my vibrated water in that well. And one, two. Suddenly that well started getting filled up. And while building, you see there's a big ball kept there to suck the The ball was hanging in the air, but still the water was coming. And the whole of that Pratishthan was built that way. We never had to buy any water. And everybody was amazed. How can you? But the water from, I don't know from where, source, was just till we finished the house, there was water. Then the fellow said, I want this well for my own use, not he'll use it for himself. Immediately cried. Pressed the button. He came to me, he said, I don't know what has happened. There's no water, not a drop. I said, really? It's dried out. So I said, all right, to take one coconut. He said, your coconut is lying there. I said, take another one. It won't. He took another. It wouldn't. Then I said, all right, to get your realization. We gave him realization of this. Then he said, I would like to sell this well. Sold it to me again, the bottle. Poor fellow, no, he didn't know what to do with that. So we bought that well. Harry knows about it. We got that well. And now that well is again all right. So the nature is a great friend of surgeons. This is what I'm trying to say. Whatever you want, it will work out. See how the rain came. Least expected at this time. Needed it. And when I was in the plane only, I saw all the thundering going on. In Perth, when we went to a place where they have built a very beautiful cottage, it was all parched and all brown. When I came, it was all green, absolutely.